Episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, and the Bulls are probably about to get absolutely mollywopped tonight by the Denver Nuggets, and we're going to talk about it, have some fun, break it down, do a little prayer circle as well. Let's hope that the Bulls can tighten some things up. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
All right, Bulls fans, we in the building today. The Bulls face off against the Denver Nuggets in about an hour, man. This is going to be an interesting game for the Chicago Bulls. They always play Denver Nuggets. Well, I should say Nikola Jokic and Vooch play each other really tough. But the Bulls haven't won in Denver. They one time in like the last 6 years. So we'll see how that ends up turning out for the Chicago Bulls. But listen, when it comes down to it, we know what the Bulls need to do. It's execution. That's really what it comes down to with the Chicago Bulls is execution. Goddamn cution. But we'll see if they're able to do it a little bit better than what they have been the last couple of games. You know, it is what it is with the Chicago Bulls. It comes down to, do they show the flashes of defense? They show the flashes of looking like a formidable offense. They just never put it together for a full 4 quarters of basketball. Can they do it today? That's going to be the question that we're hoping that's going to get answered, at least in this game. But when it really comes down to it, is this. I look at the Chicago Bulls. I look at their limitations. I look at some of the things that have caused them trouble so far on this season. And a lot of it comes down to heart. A lot of it also comes down to execution. Some of it's game plan as well. And, you know, here's the thing. We can talk all day about, hey, just execute better, right? But the thing that I have started being a bigger concern for me in my mind is that maybe it's just the lack of the right pieces here to get it done in the way that they need to get it done. So that's something ultimately that AK and Eversley are going to have to answer. But, you know, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, the Bulls can win some games. I need them to go on like a 3 to 5 game winning streak before I believe anything with the Chicago Bulls. But hey, Tay Holland says it's only the 5th game, still not panicking, trying to run a few offensive takes time. And every game I notice the Bulls improve. I would listen. I get what you're coming from, and I appreciate the optimism. Hey, it's not 5 games. This is about to be the 7th game of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So we're 7 games in. You're a little 2 games behind. But you know, with that said, they improve in some areas, but then they get worse in others. So I get what you're saying, though. You're absolutely right to say that a new offense, instilling a new methodology, things like that, it takes some time. And we'll see how the Bulls end up playing to it. Guest user says, "Good morning, Bulls. What's going on? Glad to have you in the building." Crystal Hodges says, Bulls go win a game for Crystal Hodges. We'll see if they can do that for you, Crystal. Don't be surprised if this ends up being a game that we turned it all around and go on a complete run, because we know we're known to do that a lot. I mean, I don't know to go on a complete run. The Chicago Bulls are known to turn it around, maybe go on a 2-game winning streak and lose 4. So we'll see. I feel so sorry for Kobe White because Jamal Murray is getting in that. Come on, bro. We 4 minutes into the stream, bro. 4 minutes into the stream. And I wouldn't say that. I think Kobe could do a solid job. What's good, Haize? Hope all is well today. What's going on with you, MC Season? Xavier Garcia says, "What's good, Mr. Haize? Don't call me Mr. That's my pops. I'm an old man." LML prayer circle. Absolutely. What's good? I hope we can win tonight's Nuggets. Tonight, the Nuggets will be a tough matchup when they have good defense and we have terrible offense. Yeah, listen, the Nuggets aren't that great of an offensive team. They're ranked like 13 offensively, right? But they are a top 4 defense in the league. The thing that the Bulls can really use to their advantage against the Denver Nuggets, it really comes down to rebounding. The Denver Nuggets are the 17th best rebounding team in the league. So while not terrible, it's not amazing either. So if the Bulls can crash the boards and match the Denver Nuggets in rebounds today, maybe get out in transition, things like that, we'll see. I can see Caruso playing extended minutes this game to guard Murray. I mean, listen, we got definitely Caruso, Javon Carter, who can throw at Murray as well. But don't let's not count out Kobe White quite yet, right? He's been solid defensively at times. I want to see the game that he's going to do on it, and we'll see. So you know, it is what it is. Bulls play in about 2 hours. No, the Bulls play in an hour, bro. The game starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right? Unless am I early today? Let's see. Shit, they do play at 9 p.m. What the hell was I thinking? We early. Listen, I'm not even mad at it. We're going to get the post-game show out the way then. That is what it is. I'm early, so it is what it is. Damn, I thought the game was at 8. There we go on that one. Good measuring stick game, regardless if we win or lose. I don't disagree with you on that one at all. Hopefully, Vooch can start hitting those easy layups he has been missing. I mean, listen, Vooch, everybody, I said it on a couple of dailies ago, right? Is that every member of the core three until about like 2 games ago was averaging their worst true shooting percentages of their career, all 3 of them, right? So you would like to think that you're going to get back to being even at some point to where they're going to be shooting closer to what their career averages are. So everybody's been shooting bad so far. The team as a whole's been shooting terrible so far. So it is that with that. He says you early, bro. It is what it is. I ain't even worried about it. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. Early as a mug just means you was excited. I respect those. Listen, I mean, I think that why did I think it was at 8 today? I probably was on Chicago time in my head. I probably honestly was. I'm still not mad at it though, but I probably was on Chicago time in my head. It is what it is. What do you want to see from the big 3 tonight that they didn't do last game? Execution. That's it. Execution down the stretch of the game. That's really what I want to see from the core 3 today. It's execution. Be the core 3. Be the best 3 players on the court, right? Lead. That's what I want to see from the team. And while I'll say this, they all didn't have like terrible halves at all, but we're going to go over the fourth quarters for the Chicago Bulls in last night. Nikola Vucevic was 2 of 4 for 5 points. Zach LaVine was 2 of 6 for 5 points. DeMar DeRozan was 2 of 3 from the field for 6 points. So you like that's not gonna cut it when it's a close game, right? And so while those shooting percentages, Zach was the only one that wasn't above 50%. You just want to see better execution for sure. Sean says, "What is wrong with our offense for real?" I mean, like we said, lack of execution, not shooting the ball, not the lack of effective shooting is the biggest thing that's wrong with this team. Our team field goal shooting percentage is terrible on the season. Like last night's game was probably one of the best, if not the best game that we shot as a team, and we lost, right? So it's really the field goal shooting percentage plays a huge part into why the Bulls have been sucking so far. And I don't just mean from 3. The Bulls right now are the 4th worst team in the league as far as shooting percentage. 43% right now. Keep in mind, we were 40.8%, like I said, 2 or 3 games ago. The Bulls have been shooting the ball like complete and utter ass cheeks. Ball cheeks. That's what it was. Ball cheeks. They shot the ball like bad ball cheeks. So it is what it is. Does P. Will start tonight? No. P. Will is probably not getting that starting position back anytime soon. A few games ago, I watched the Timber Puffs beat the brakes off Denver. So anything is possible. I mean, yeah, we know it's basketball. Anything is possible, right? On any given night, any team can win in the NBA. But you have to execute. So we'll end up seeing with that. Usually we late, ain't it? I mean, listen, black people be late sometimes, man. It is what it is. They just need to move DeMar. It's that simple. I mean, you would think that it's that simple, but it's not. It's sometimes it's not. So it is what it is. There. Debo did all that summer training with them for nothing. Words. listen, but that's the thing. I think sometimes we look and we expect that it's going to be this. It's going to be like this immediate thing just because you trained. And it's not even when people like saying, oh, but we hired a shooting coach. Why aren't we shooting better? It takes years for that to start correcting itself. Right. So I've said it before. Do not expect for 2 years for that to happen. Hold on real quick. My kids text me. But all right, let's keep it going. Let's see. These frauds are about to beat the shit out of the defending champs just to piss us off a little bit more. I mean, listen, why be pissed off at a win? That's the way that I look at it. Why be pissed off at a win? I wouldn't be pissed off at a win. So, it is what it is there. Like if the Bulls win, they win, right? That's like I said, any given night, but that should not, don't let a singular win distract you from who this team is. Like we said, it's the NBA. Literally, any team can beat any team on any given night. So do not let one win distract you from what's going on. You like this team would have to win several games in a row to be able to get to that point. I hate when we are get stagnant and just watch the ball instead of moving around. That's the biggest thing that bothers me with the Chicago Bulls team is the lack of off-ball movement. Anybody who watches me consistently will tell you. I talk about that shit all the time. I've been talking about that literally for about two and a half years, which is around the same time that the podcast has been around. So you definitely got it. They have to figure out a way. You miss out on easy shots, but not moving without the ball. We need to attack the paint this game. We love people to be aggressive again. I mean, one could hope, right? One could definitely hope. Michael Porter Jr. What about Michael Porter Jr.? Yes, Michael Porter Jr. is still on that team. That's still one of the players that I like. He wanted to be drafted by the Chicago Bulls. If they win 50 games on good defense and horrible 3-point shooting, I don't care. Listen, I don't care. Like you said, it's about wins. And that's why I said it even yesterday. I didn't say it the way that you said it, but I said that we respect a team that competes with heart. That's the biggest thing, right? If you compete and you could tell that the team was fighting with everything they had every single game and they got 42 wins. We respect that more than a team that stumbled with no heart that got 45 wins. It's about being tough in things. Fans need to understand that the Bulls defense has kept them in every game. Their offensive shooting, execution, and decision-making, lack of ball movement, and turnovers in crunch time have hurt them. Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. Where's Javonte Green at now? He is in the G League. He's actually on the Golden State Warriors G League team. So look out for that. What up, my boy Haize? Fun fact: the Bulls match up good against the Nuggets on the past. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember how many games we've won. I know we only won one game recently in Denver, right? I think that because when we won last year in Denver, they made a big issue with it. But other than that, we'll see, man. Why are the Bulls back needing a point guard already? Because the front office doesn't want to admit that they made a mistake. What do you mean? They're back to needing a point guard. Like, we've known that they've needed a point guard. What are you talking about? That has never stopped, right? We've kept finding stop gaps at point guard because we're missing Lonzo Ball. What mistake did they make? I don't get what you're getting. I don't mean that like an asshole. I'm legitimately asking. Explain your point a little bit more, brother. Kendall Riviera says Vooch does decent on D against Joker because of their Euro type game. Well, no, it's more than just a Euro type game. I think Vooch has always been a good positional defender in isolation, right? And because of the way that Jokic basically runs that offense, it's a lot of isolation with Jokic in the sense that not isolation scoring, but he runs the offense. A lot of things go through him. So Vooch, it's the perfect type of center, as well as like also not a hugely athletic center. So that's what it matches up for. I don't even think it's the Euro type game per se. It's how Denver specifically uses Jokic. On top of that, neither one of them are these huge athletic jump out the gym centers. So that definitely plays a part as well. The guy who runs the diehard Bulls page, Semi Hassan, making a cringe trade. Exactly. Listen. Semi Hassan is the biggest idiot in the world. Like, don't even bring up Semi Hassan's dumbass on this show. Now, and I don't mean that like coming at you. AK needs to just pull a Kobe Bryant and hire a retired military to break the mental and turn them into confident athletes. Listen, that I get that. That all sounds like rah-rah shit, but at this point, most of these, there ain't nothing gonna change who DeMar DeRozan is at this point as a defender. Ain't nothing gonna change Nikola Vucevic at this point. Ain't nothing really gonna change Zach LaVine. Now, I will say this: he's given more effort defensively this year, but typically, like, we can say all that hire military to break all that type of shit. These are millionaires. Maybe that will work for some of the younger players, the Dalen Terry, the Ios, the Patrick Williams. Listen, send Patrick Williams' ass to boot camp. You could definitely do that. Send him to the Marine boot camp. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's face it. The only reason why Nicole Davis plays good defense, bro, your speech to talk needs help, bro. We need help. Nicole Davis, I guess you mean Nikola Vucevic plays good defense on Jokers because Joker has lack of lateral movement like Joel Embiid and other talented sitters, with all due respect to Joker. That was a tough one, bro. That was a tough read there, brother. That's a tough read there, bro. I love to have John Wall on the Bulls for what? So he can dribble the air out the ball. So I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Hey, easy on us, retired. I didn't say nothing bad about retired military. I just said that it's not going to help this team. Nothing bad. My dad's retired military. I have nothing but respect for retired military. But with this team specifically, I don't know about that one. Not getting a true starting point guard, but instead they got a backup and hoping Kobe would get better. Listen, here's the thing. It's easy just to say in a vacuum, go get a starting point guard. Realize this: the Chicago Bulls only had a mid-level exception to use. Right, they did end up getting a disabled player exception, but there weren't a lot of true point guards out on the market. On top of that, like even if you talk about like trading for Trey Jones, like the Bulls weren't going to give up, like that would have taken away a big asset from the team. You're not going to trade for him for nothing. So like it's easy just to say in a vacuum, go out and get this, but you have to realize the limitations. Even if you don't agree with the limitations, like you can say I don't agree with this team not paying the luxury tax. You can say that all day, nobody can take away with that, but that still doesn't change the realistic expectations. So, I mean, the realistic assets that you have to add to this team. So it's not just a simple, this ain't 2K where you can just go out and get a point guard because that's what you need. First of all, people got to want to come here. Secondly, you got to be able to have the cap space and roster space to be able to do it. They were able to bring back Kobe because guess what? They had Kobe's bird rights. You can sign him being over the cap. They were to bring in Javon Carter because he was able to come for slightly over the vet minimum. It's not as easy as that. Not as easy as just going out and getting someone because that's what you need. Yo, what's up, Haize? I feel like this is a must win, mainly because I will be at the game ready to see the team in action. Listen. I hope that everybody who goes to a Bulls game gets to go and see a win. Everybody deserves to see a win with that. What star point guard is even available for the Bulls? Should we focus on something else for a team other than a point guard? I mean, listen, there are other ways you can do it. You can definitely go out and get like a three, for example. That could do some facilitating, maybe a point forward, right? But at the end of the day, we can talk about the prototype that we need all day, but that doesn't mean that it's realistic to get that prototype, right? You still have to realistically be able to get them. So Jiggy Josh, actually, if you look at the numbers, Vooch actually thrives in a so people, I think, when they think of fast pace, they think run and gun. You can play up tempo and it's not run and gun. Vooch actually plays better in an up tempo system. He always has. Go look at his numbers with Lonzo on the court with him, right? The team's tempo was much faster than what it was since then. Vooch can be fine in a more up-tempo offense, but you have to do a good job at identifying how you use them, how you get the ball to them is definitely important in that. So, no, I disagree with that. I think Vooch is fine in the pace that the Bulls are trying to play with. We're not trying to be a run-and-gun team. We're not trying to be the early 2000 Phoenix Suns out there. We're just trying to play with a faster pace, and sometimes also in faster pace just moving the ball around more. It doesn't mean running up and down the court at the fastest pace that you can go. In that case, most people wouldn't be able to stop Kobe. So Kobe is more of a combo guard. Also, if you look at the NBA today, there are not that many pure point guards. Almost every guard is a score first player and passing second. Hey, you're not wrong on that one. You're not wrong on that one. Saying Vooch too slow for this era is crazy after watching Brook Lopez exactly. Like, I think people like, and don't get me wrong, like I said, I understand where the thought process is rooted in, but Vooch has always been a fine positional defender. Go and check. Vooch has typically a better defensive rating than some of what people consider the best. Like his career defensive rating is better than Bam Adebayo's, considerably better than. Now I'm not even talking about just slightly, considerably better than Bam Adebayo's, right? And defensive rating isn't everything. You got to look at defensive rating, look at defensive Raptor, look at the point differential, right? Look at those type of things. But Vooch is the only thing that Vooch sucks at is pick and roll defense. And he's not a true rim protector. But as far as positional on-ball defense, he's always been solid in that area. Always. I feel like Kobe has been doing a decent job at point. He's running the pick and roll based offense. Yeah, and listen, there's some things with scheme there, but also there's some growing pains there, and it's gonna have to come, right? The hard part is teams don't let go of their young stars, even if they're disgruntled. Typically they don't, right? Unless they're getting another young player back. Love the content, Haize. Keep it up. I don't envy having to cover 82 games this year. LOL. Stay blessed, bro. From Weird Eat Dusk? Weird Eat Dusk. That's a hell of a username. Thank you for supporting, brother. Not saying it would have made us a championship contender, but Max Strus wanted to come here, but hey, he's doing his thing in Cleveland. Listen, don't always believe what players say in hindsight. Max Strus signed with Cleveland early into free agency. So him saying he would have come to the Bulls had they offered their mid-level, all that shit will wait and see, right? He didn't. So I get what he's saying, and I'm not saying that he maybe didn't want to play in Chicago. There probably was. He wasn't willing to wait. The moment that he got that offer from Cleveland, he wasn't coming back. He wasn't going for anything less. Don't always believe what players say just to say shit. I think people forget how good he was with the Magic. He's overshadowed by DeMar and Zach. Well, I don't even think it's necessarily overshadowed, right? Because keep in mind, a third option averaging 18 and 11 there's not that many third options in the NBA that's going to average that. But he's also, it's not just about competing, being overshadowed, but him and DeMar typically like getting their shots and generating their offense from the same spot, meaning that Vooch doesn't always shoot from that elbow that DeMar does, but if you look at a lot of Vooch when he does off the post and dives, it starts at that same spot. So you have players that are competing from the same that like to be in the same space to start generating their offense. So he had to adapt to that. So, it is what it is. We'll see. It's the little things. The Bulls are a shot away or a defensive play away to getting more wins. Well, I think it's more than that, right? It's more than just a shot or a specific defensive play. It really comes down to like I always say, and I hate kind of overstating things constantly, but it really comes down to the execution. They suck balls at execution, period. It's ball cheeks out there. Ball cheeks. It's at 9 West time. No, 9 West time would be midnight here. So no, it's at 9 Eastern, not 9 West time, 9 East time. 9 West, the West Coast is 3 hours behind East Coast. So if it was at 9 West Coast, that means it would be 11 Chicago time and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's no game starting that goddamn late. The game's at 8. The game's at 8 Chicago time, 9 Eastern time. That's what it is. Joker is one of the slowest players that I have ever seen play center. Unathletic, but he has fundamental skill that work. Vooch also has fundamental skills that don't really rely on athletics. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Being a big Vooch supporter, been having to defend his hands lately. People say he has bad hands. Do you think? No, I don't think Vooch has bad hands. I don't think that at all. I find it funny that people were so upset that we got rid of Daniel Gafford. All he's been doing is getting dunked on ever since he left. Well, listen, the thing is that Bulls fans, the same, like, and that's the same thing that would happen if the Bulls traded. As many Bulls fans are like, let's move Patrick Williams. If the Bulls did that, and then in a year and a half, 2 years, Patrick Williams finds a team and a coach that develops him, they'd be like, oh my God, oh my God, we traded Patrick Williams. He turned into an amazing player. We did it again. Do y'all remember Laurie? Do y'all remember Wendell? Oh my God, Patrick Williams is the next one. That's what Bulls fans will be saying. That's absolutely what Bulls fans will be saying. So you just got to take stuff with a little grain of salt there. At the end of the day, Bulls fans are going to complain one way or another. That's just the way that it goes. I swear when the Bulls start losing, it really exposes how basketball dumb Bulls fans really are. God damn, Steve-O. Steve-O just came for the juggler. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. TBO says he briefly dated Larsa Pippen. Why you in here capping, bro? Why you in here capping? Just because you wrote Larsa Pippen on your hand before you lubed it up doesn't mean that you dated Larsa Pippen, bro. That's not the way that it works, bro. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. 100% it's worth stating I've been a P. Will fan, though. Through thick and thin, P. Will is going to come around, mark my words. Hey, from your mouth to God's ears, fam. Like, I don't, like, I want to see everybody that the Bulls draft develop. Right? It's so weird to me when Bulls fans or fans of a team, any team, wish bad on somebody just so they can be right. Like it's the weirdest thing in the world to me that you could be the fan of a of a team and you wish bad just so you can be right on social media, right? That you literally be like, P Will, he's never gonna be he's never gonna be nothing. And just so you can like it's just weird, right? To me. Like I understand being realistic as well of saying, hey, it's not looking good for P Will. Like he hasn't shown us much lately. Those type of things. Like I completely understand that. But when you wish bad on somebody just so you can be right, it's weird. It's weird. Kobe and Vooch have really bad chemistry. This feels like no, I gotta disagree there. Kobe and Vooch actually have pretty good chemistry. If you look at their on off court and even the assist ratio when Kobe passes to Vooch, they have good chemistry. I think you're seeing Kobe trying to learn the spots that Vooch liking in. The two players, and I went over this on 3 daily episodes ago. The players that have the worst chemistry on the court, that's the statistics show, are DeMar and Kobe. DeMar and Kobe on the court together is horrible statistically. The plus minus is bad. The differential is bad. The turnovers are bad. Like literally for whatever. And to me, I will say it doesn't seem like Kobe and DeMar like getting to the same spots. But the statistics show that when Kobe and DeMar are on the court together, it hurts the Bulls tremendously. Tremendously. Now I'm not blaming all the Bulls' problems on that, but that's what the statistics show. No, P. Will is not it. I hope he gets it together, but it doesn't look like he will. I mean, and that's fair, right? To say that it doesn't seem like he will. But as long as he's a Chicago Bull, I'm going to hope that he does get it together. What the fuck that have to do with anything? Larson Pippen, like why Bulls fans need to focus? That's funny. Young Bino says AK hasn't been the best GM for the Bulls. He hasn't been the best, but he by far hasn't been the worst at all. So he hasn't rebounded well since Lonzo went down, and that's granted. But the team that he built was working. The vision that he had was working. Him going out and getting Lonzo, Alex Caruso, and DeMar in an offseason where the Bulls had no cap space, that's not anything to just shake your head at. And then that team being number one in the Eastern Conference for a little while, now they wouldn't stay there. I think they would have dropped down to either 4 or 5. But again, that version of the team was working. It still had some very drastic flaws on it that needed to be fixed. But had they been able to focus on fixing the flaws of that team for the last couple of off seasons, we'd be looking at this team completely different. We got Eads Instruments in the building. Says, I was a Bears fan. Now I see George do conferences and look like a clown. The only way they win is if Virginia sells the team. If not, they will always. I disagree. And, you know, that's a big thing that I have. Ownership typically has very little to do with how a team is built. Very little to do with how a team is built. Virginia McCaskey probably doesn't even know that they have a black quarterback, much less is making decisions on the Bulls roster. It comes down to the president of operations, either it be through basketball, football, whatever, the GM making smart decisions. That's the biggest thing. You can have the best owner in the world. For example, you can have owners that love to spend money. The owner of the Knicks will spend money out the wazoo. You remember when he had a team of Steve Francis and what was it? Steve Francis and damn, was it Baron Davis on the team together at the same time? Listen, that tax bill was ridiculous. You know how many playoff games they won? Look at how many playoff series the Knicks have won in the last 20 years. But that's an owner that would love to spend money. It really very rarely in sports does it come down to the ownership. It comes down to it if they're being cheap. But keep in mind, even the Bears still spend money. Now I will say they're probably cheaper than the Bulls. But so I ownership definitely has a role in making the right decisions in GMs and presidents and things like that. But it's very seldom that owners have very much in the day-to-day operations of building a team in sports. Very little. Now, you do have some very hands-on owners. Like Mark Cuban is a very hands-on owner, right? But it's not typically in sports that you have that. People don't understand that Laurie is now the number one option on every number one scouting report. So now we will truly see if he is able to maintain his high level in the NBA that plays no defense. This happens in every sport. Yeah, I mean, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I haven't watched that many Jazz games this season, I think Laurie's still doing pretty damn good. Let's take a look. I just want to take a look. Laurie marketed so far this season through one steal per game at 45% shooting from three and 48% shooting from the field. Large still doing pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. It's like a championship level team. They're 2-4, the Jazz, right? So he's also on a team that's not winning, but he's putting up big numbers. So there's that as well. Have the lineups come out yet? No, we are super early. The lineups probably won't be out for another hour. So there you go on that one. I know, and listen, I get what you're saying on that, but I'll tell you what, Jerry, you have a better chance. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, Black Prophet. You have a better chance of having Jada Pickett Smith have you in an entanglement while Jennifer Lopez is licking the soles of your feet and Jesus himself is making it rain on both of them while they do their job. You have a better chance of that than Jerry Reinsdorf selling any of these teams. The White Sox probably may be more likely. I tell you what, but Jerry Reinsdorf is very unlikely that they're doing that. Very unlikely that he's ever selling. What the fuck is going on? You bitch ass Cameron, get your life together. Like you said earlier, there are only a handful of true point guards in the NBA today, and only ones that may have been possible were CP3 and Mike Conley. AK is doing what he can. Absolutely. Kendall says, Bulls will never go part into the luxury tax. Yeah, they may never, but you don't have to go into the luxury tax to build a championship caliber team. You don't. You don't. You just have to draft extremely, extremely well and make smart decisions. So I like P. Will off the bench. Seems more engaged on both ends and is relying more on the second unit. Get him in the game. Phillips or Terry needs some minutes tonight so the other players can rest. Listen, it's not going to happen. I tell you right now, that's not going to happen as far as Terry and Phillips. Now, as far as P. Will, listen, it's been one game. Let's see how he does over 3 games coming off the bench, because we've seen flashes of P. Will coming off the bench before, and it goes right back to the same thing. Right back to the same thing. Why would Jesus be there? I have no idea. Haize is on fire tonight. I hope that the old man's not watching. That's funny. Oh, man, that is hilarious. I'm usually an optimistic fan, but it's getting harder each game and the season just started. Hey, listen, I feel you on that one. I definitely feel you on that. Definitely feel you. You got a wild ass mind, I guess is what you mean, boy. Hey, listen, y'all know I'm crazy. Like, I don't even know, like the things that I say shouldn't surprise anybody anymore. Everybody at this point should know I'm not wired too tight. I'm just not. It is like I don't have that chemical in my brain. I don't have it. I'm usually. Oh, I already read that one. My bad. First of all, whoa, whoa. What is this? TPO, bro. What in the Dwight Howard happened here, bro? What is going on with TPO, bro? What? Oh my God, that's crazy. Man. Then you followed up with this? That's crazy. Wow. Bro said he would let Jerry Reinsdorf fill him up if it meant getting the Bulls a title. My dude said he's serving up, but he is willing to serve up, but for the Bulls to get a title. That's crazy. That's hilarious. Oh my Jesus, bro. Oh man, my soul was not ready for that. That's crazy. That's crazy. How did we get here? How did we get here? Wow. That's wild. That's oh man. If you wanted to kill me, bro, you might have just did it, man. That's crazy. Oh man. Hey, listen. That is a new level of fandom. I'm telling y'all that right now. If you not willing to let Jerry Reinsdorf fill you up, you ain't a real fan. That's hilarious, bro. I can't believe you said that in public, bro. Some thoughts don't need to be shared, bro. Where's the manager? Where's the manager? Somebody get the manager, bro. Somebody please get the manager right now. No, I need to talk to the manager of TPO's life, bro. We got to get this man a life coach. He got to make better decisions. Man, that's crazy. That's worse than bald cheeks, bro. I don't even know what to say that, bro. That's crazy. Let me just put this comment up here one more time for the people that's just joining in. TPO said he'd let Jerry Jones fill him up if it meant the Bulls would win a championship. That's crazy. That's wild. How did we get here, bro? That's like, at what point in typing that did you think that's crazy? That's wild, man. Oh, man. But for the oh, God. Call him manager. That's crazy. Wow. Samuel says, yo, hey, saw some Bulls channel. Locked on Bulls. Do have a few of your full podcasts. No, I'm one of the hosts of Locked on Bulls. Me and Pat, the designer, are the hosts of Locked on Bulls, bro. So I thought everybody knew that at this point. So listen, I don't mean that as like a clown. So I have Chicago Bulls Central, which is my solo joint, but I also work for the Locked On Podcast Network. Me and Pat, the designer, are the co-host of Locked On Bulls. So you will see me over there as well. So if you want a double dose of Haize, kind of like TPO wants a double dose of Reinsdorf, you can go and subscribe over there as well to Locked On Bulls. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's wild, bro. That's oh man, that's wild, bro. That's crazy. That is wild, bro. That man said he would take meat right now. That's crazy. Wait. True friends do whatever it takes. Cake will have to be oh my. Call the manager. All right, listen. We done. I'm ending this. We'll be back for a normal post-game show close to the game like always. I'm sorry. We gotta keep it pushing on this one. That's wild, man. That is crazy. Man, that's crazy. That is wild, bro. Wait a second. Cedric said he's sucking? Oh, shit. TPO and Cedric said they going double T. Like, oh, that's it. The stream's over. That's it. I will see you guys in about 45 minutes. We're going to try to do it again. This stream's dead. I love you guys. Go Bulls. See you, Red, man. Peace.